All right. What's up, everybody? You are listening to Like I Said, and I finally got the first guest in the studio. Finally, super excited, and I've wanted to have Eric on here for quite a while because the man can get pretty passionate about some stuff, and he's been in so many, so many weird situations. You just know some of those people, and I'm sure you have met them, that just continue to have stories that get more and more like asinine. And you just know, like, okay, I guarantee you, if you mention mud and January, they're going to have a weird fucking story. And you're going to cringe and cry laughing and just be like, okay, yeah, that totally makes sense and adds up. That's Eric. 100%. The dude's stories are usually completely outlandish. Like, how does this shit happen to you? So I love it. I always laugh. So I've been wanting to get him on the podcast, and it's perfect that he is the first guest. So we were just kind of already in the middle of a conversation. So I'm just dropping you right into it. You'll figure it out. You'll catch on. If anything, you'll just at least laugh about the fact that you have no idea what we're talking about, but it's still funny. I promise. So, enjoy the episode.
Oh, gee whiz, Satan. Why am I so unhappy?
Jim, it's just like I said, Jimmy Jim. It's like I said.
Just stop sucking so much.
It was a pretty solid conversation.
It was a good I was really enthralled by it, you know? It was interesting enough that I wanted to listen to more. I was kind of upset when we stopped talking about Eggman, but... oh well. Anyway, I saved that one for later.
He's our inspiration for this podcast.
Get the toilet paper out of the way. Just having too much of a good time with Eggman.
He doesn't even need that toilet paper. He's an egg. He doesn't even poop.
Well, he's just so powerful, he doesn't need to poop.
Every time he shits, it's like a gun. It's just like, pow! Doesn't even get time to make a mess.
What? Dude, honestly though, let's talk about that. How amazing is it when you actually do have a shit?
Oh,
and
clean shit?
Oh, it comes out so fast and so like effortlessly that you don't even need to wipe.
No, well, it's when that happens that you're like, oh man, it's probably a fucking war zone down there. And you go to like actually wipe your ass and it comes up clean. You're like, okay, you're just playing with my heart and mind now. Like this is too good to be true. You take a couple more tentative like secondary wipes to make sure, and then you realize it was a perfect shit.
Right. Then the third one though is the wipe to remove all of the toilet paper that ripped and got stuck in your ass cheeks because you thought there was more poop in there. Because we still use paper to wipe our ass. I want a bidet so badly.
What is it? They had like the seashells or whatever, and Demolition Man. That was the movie.
Demolition Man.
Have you seen that movie?
Who's in it?
Oh shit! I don't even know the actors who are in
Sounds
it.
familiar.
I just know the movie, and it's amazing.
1993. Sylvester Stallone.
Okay, what's Stallone?
Wesley
I was gonna
Snipes, Sandra Bullock, and whoever Nigel Hawthorne is.
I don't know who that is.
Wait, what did it remind you of? A police officer is learn to read.
Well, because when you said, I can't believe that we still use toilet paper in that movie, he was like frozen or whatever in time, and like
yes,
yeah. And then he like comes back and then he goes in the bathroom and he's like, how do I use these seashells or something? Because they use like seashells to wipe their asses now.
dude, is this a picture of that scene? No,
I don't think so, but that is from the movie.
I remember that now because Wesley Snipes is like he's like in the alleyway and sewers and they're like weird ass costumes and shit. Yeah.
He had like the armor made out of car tires and shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, that shit was awesome.
But that's what it reminds me of because I'm like, why are we still using paper? I mean, it makes sense, but
There's this ad on Instagram of that little kid that's sitting on the toilet, it's like talking about how ridiculous it is to be using toilet paper, and he's so sassy. He makes me feel so stupid. You're like, fuck you, little kid, but at the same time, I'm like, I want a bidet for that exact reason.
I
You get me a
agree with you.
right?
but
A
fuck
bidet
you.
and a squatty potty.
Squatty potty. Oh my god, the squatty potty.
I want both of those so badly. Let's talk about the best poop sensations ever.
A friend of mine got the squatty potty, and I was just like,
Have you used it?
I haven't used it, but I'm intrigued. I'm like, I don't know what a milk carton can't do that the squatty potty can, but
Do you have 2 milk cartons?
well, that's a good point. Squatty potty's probably like the perfect height.
I think it gives you
Pre-engineered.
a little bit of leg way, so you can have like a wider stance versus like a. Because I mean, the egg crate's like a foot apart, so that's a tight. You're really working out your legs as you're crouching over the toilet to poop.
Oh yeah,
You could go the next level though and do a Richard poop.
a Richard poop.
Richard squats on the toilet seat.
Oh goddamn, how do you do, dude? That's like a balancing act.
It is.
If I'm gonna present my solids to the porcelain god, I want like a solid base to do it from.
I mean, he's got a lot of experience. He still, to this day, claims his best way to poop. He's all about it. And honestly, after the whole squatty potty thing, I can't say I blame him. It is literally the most cost-effective way to do it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But I
that
can just
squatty
see
potty's
myself-
like $100.
No, you think so?
Well, it wouldn't surprise me.
You
if
could
it's-
definitely build one.
Oh god, yeah.
It's literally just like a box.
It's a piece of wood, pretty much cut to form your toilet.
Yep.
Like that's all it would be.
Ooh, dude, you could do it just like a not a Murphy bed. I mean, essentially, yeah, it's a Murphy bed, but I'm thinking of an ironing rack. Is that what that's called?
Yeah,
Yeah. So you
like
would
one
just
of
like,
those wall-made like ironing
Yeah.
boards. Yeah.
so it just like sit up, flush against the wall, and whenever you need to poop, you just drop it down, and then you stand on it, and that's a great idea.
Well, I'm thinking of like taking it a step further and putting it like on airlifts or something.
From the ground?
Yeah, so you like
Oh.
sit down, it's just like, and just like you're there, and then it's like when you're
Oh,
done, it's like, are you done pooping? And then it like automatically flushes the toilet, and it like sprays a jet of water in your asshole. And
Right.
you're like, this
little,
is
like a little scent, a little flower refreshener for your butthole.
yeah, and this is why we are the superior species on this planet.
You're damn right. No monkey would do that.
We poop in
Hell
style.
Look, just like the rhino shit and pisses and shakes its tail so it just splatters it
Oh god.
as far as it possibly can.
Oh no, I know what you're talking. I've seen that video.
Right?
Oh, oh.
But some public bathrooms look exactly like that.
Yeah, no, it's the bathroom right across the way. It looks like that sometimes. I'm like,
What?
what were you doing in here? Like, how? How did you get it from here to there? Like,
Fucking
did you?
kids, man? I swear they try sometimes.
Well, I'm like, do you just like press your asshole against the wall and then just like start shitting and drag your ass down the wall as you're shitting? So it's like a piece of lipstick or something. You just keep like running it out while you're like smearing it down the. I'm like,
Oh,
how did you do this?
oh, there's a Chihuahua that does that.
Oh, I'm sure.
I've
When
seen the picture or video.
dogs are doing burnouts across your carpet, that's exactly what they're doing.
He like stands up on his front legs and like backs his butt up against the wall and then poops on the wall. Which is exactly how I'm imagining this little kid doing the same thing in that bathroom.
Just like a handstand, ass first.
It has to be super flexible kid though,
Meanwhile, Norm's face is just like watching you the entire time, judging you
right? Or cheersing you.
or cheersing.
It's like, hey, you're doing a good job. You keep forcing that out of you.
You keep on keeping on.
Like, oh, this is the 10th time you've come in and peed in the last hour. I think you have a problem, buddy. Like, Norm, you don't know me. You don't know what I'm about.
Shit, that's like, hang on that. Every time I drink water, like out of the Nalgene, I'm peeing like every like 30 minutes, like on the dot for like the entire day. And I'm like, what does that mean? Does that mean that I have like diabetes or something? Because
What?
I can't imagine that's good. Nobody needs to pee like 40 times in one day.
Do you know how much water you're probably drinking?
32 ounces every time.
I guess you do know exactly how much water you're
He's
drinking.
got handy dandy little measuring thing on the side.
There's a handy dandy measuring
Yep.
thing. I mean, that is a lot of pee, though. I mean, you're drinking a lot more than you probably would in a regular cup.
Oh, yeah. Well, I have like one of those little plastic clear cups that's like 16 ounces.
Yeah.
So it's like 2 of those.
I don't think there's anything wrong with peeing frequently.
I don't know. I'm just like.
If you're also intaking like a lot of liquid, it kind of goes hand in hand, don't you think?
Well, I can put away like 8 beers at wherever. Like that's
Yeah, but
12 to 16 ounces depending, and I won't pee for the entire fucking night. And then I get home and it's just like fucking Hoover Dam broke. But I just start drinking water and that shit goes through me like instantly.
Mm,
It's like Black
I see
Friday
what you're
blowout,
saying.
but
Well, I
for
mean,
piss.
Beer dehydrates you, doesn't it? Like, isn't
Food?
that why you no, beer? Isn't that
Well,
why
yeah, I guess.
You feel drunk and tipsy.
Yeah,
and
it
stuff?
kind of dehydrates you.
Yeah, the water would definitely just flush that shit out. But then again, I'm just making shit up. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But that is a good point. It is strange because you can ignore it. That's why they talk about you break the seal. When you go to a party, you drink a bunch, and you start peeing. Fuck it all, dude. You're gonna be peeing, like you said, every 30 minutes after that for the rest of the night.
Yep. And you're just done. You're gonna be that guy who comes up and you're like, "Hey guys," and you start into a conversation. You're like, "Wait a second, I gotta go pee." And then you come back and the conversation's totally changed. So now you can't join in. So you go to like the next group, and you're like, "Hey guys," and get going, and you like have a good conversation. And like 5 minutes into it, oh shit, I gotta go pee. You come back to that one and it's completely gone away. You can't come back. So it's like you're just going from group to group, like having 5 minute long conversations, and then you have to pee. And every time you come back, it's a totally different conversation. You just can't jump back in. So eventually you get through everybody, and then you just gotta leave the party. Like you're done. You're because you had to pee so much.
Yeah, I don't think you understand what you have, though. You have something that no one else has at that party.
A lot of piss.
No, you have a lot of conversation.
A lot of 5 minute long conversations.
Yeah, you definitely have a lot of piss. That's a downright fucking truth. But I mean, look, you have a lot of fucking subjects. So if you catch on to like whatever they're talking about in one group, and then you go to the next one and be like, "Oh, hey guys, have you ever heard of this?" And now you have a little bit of information to talk about. So you just keep cycling everyone's conversations around the group, and then no one knows that
But then you haven't
peed
had a
30,000
real
fucking time.
conversation because
I
you're
mean-
just recycling them.
Yeah, you definitely don't exist. You're just like an imaginary person at that point.
You have to
a
come in with like some
conversation fairy.
Socrates shit or something, like some Greek philosopher shit every conversation. But it's only 5 minutes worth.
You just like demand the attention of the room every time. Ladies and gentlemen,
I have finished urinating.
I have words of which you need to listen.
But hang on, I must go pee again. back in the bathroom. That's what happens when you break the seal, and that's why it's such a party foul.
But it is a good cover up if you have to go in there and vomit.
Well, yeah, but if you come out not smelling like vomit, then everybody knows that you just went in there to piss.
You mean to tell me you haven't puked at a party and no one knew and you just kept on drinking?
Oh, dude, I went to a party and puked all over the bathroom one time, then tried to clean it up drunkenly. It was a mess. That was a disaster.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a best case scenario, that you don't make a mess.
It was not the best case scenario. It was the worst case scenario.
You've had a lot of worst case scenarios.
That's how I live my life. I like to take it to like, what's the best case scenario? Let's go the complete fucking opposite direction with that.
We're gonna go the Eric way.
Yeah. Here's the normal human being way. Just accept what's going on. This is the Eric way. We're gonna try and fix it and make it 10 times worse. So,
I mean, that seems to be working out really well for you.
I don't know. Maybe.
There's somewhat sarcasm
Yeah.
to that.
So heavily laden with sarcasm.
So heavily laden indeed.
World domination notes.
World domination notes. Oh yeah. a little strange. My little notebook says world domination. Oh no, world dominating notes is what it says on there.
Oh,
Which I feel like
see?
it's gonna flag something, and now I'm gonna get like the FBI popped up at my house, like you got world dominating notes, and really it's just like today's to-do list. Breathe and enjoy the moment.
But really, that's going to lead up to starting the Fourth Reich and being like the next Nazi superpower.
Yeah, I can see that. Fucking
That's
CVS
what that is.
started off every time.
CVS.
Yeah,
You got that CVS?
Got a
I'm
CVS.
surprised CVS would have that.
I know.
Well, actually, a CVS I went to in Chicago had like flasks and shit, and I was like, okay, I've never seen a flask in like a CVS or a Walgreens or something, but cool. I remember I bought it. I bought the flask because I was in Chicago, and I'm one of those people. I'm like, I'm in Chicago. I have to get something.
Have you ever? Oh, dude, they just legalized weed.
In Chicago?
Illinois.
Damn.
Yeah,
How many states does that leave?
I have no clue at all.
Is it legalized or just decriminalized?
See, the moment I said it was legalized, my brain asked me that exact question, and I was really fucking hoping you were not going to ask that question.
Well, I think because in Washington D.C., it's like it's decriminalized. It's or something like that.
Well, I'm looking at
I know you can't just like walk around and just freely smoke weed in Washington D.C.
Cannabis in Illinois is legal for both medical and recreational usage.
Okay, then I guess you can just walk around smoking weed.
I literally don't know of any other place in Illinois aside from Chicago.
No, that's about it. Everything else is just farmland. I remember driving up there, like coming back it was like at night, and driving from Illinois into Ohio was so weird because there were so many wind turbines. Like you would drive, so you're driving through the like just open flat ground pretty much, and it's just like cornfields and shit. And all of a sudden, like on the horizon, you just see these like red lights from like as far as you can see in both directions, all pulsating at the exact same rhythm. And you just drive towards it, and they get bigger, and then you see like the next row, and it's like more and more of them. And I'm like, if I was driving through here like high as shit right now, I'd be freaking the fuck out. I'd be losing my shit because these things are just like all pulsing at the exact same rhythm, and it's literally as far as you can see, like from one horizon to the other. Like as far down as you can see, it's just red lights. It's the weirdest thing.
Dude, it seems like a psychological terror.
Yeah. It was so weird because it's like, and as you get closer, then it's like more and more of them start showing until you're literally surrounded by them, but you can't see the actual like turbines because it's like pitch black.
It's just the lights?
Yeah, it's just the lights. So all of a sudden you're just like, once you get into like the real like wind farm areas, it's like everywhere you look 360 degrees, it's just pulsing lights that are like all at the same rate. It's the weirdest thing.
Dude, it would be so unnerving.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, I don't think I could. I mean, I obviously could fucking do it. I could do anything. I'm like Eggman.
Hell yeah.
No, but that is weird. I don't think I've ever been in any kind of situation that is like relatable to driving up on such a weird sensation. The fuck do we get to talking about? Oh, because we're talking about Illinois legalizing weed. Fucking Chicago.
Chicago, it's got the best focaccia.
Gotcha.
Focaccia.
Fucking right it does. Now, what the fuck happened today, man?
The fuck happened to it? Oh.
Yeah, what the fuck happened today? Tell me some of these customer stories, which we're not going to name.
So, not name the customers?
Yeah, you know, just keep a lot of this anonymous.
Oh, we don't even fucking know who the customers are.
Exactly.
They
It's
just
even
come in here. I don't even know half the regulars' names.
perfect.
So I'm like, I don't care about your name. I care about what you're getting.
Exactly.
so I can get it for you and you can get the fuck out.
You're not a real human in this situation. You're
No.
a transaction.
You are a transaction and you are keeping me from emptying the trash can that's fucking overflowing right now everywhere. Like, something's on fire. Oh, what can I get for you? You're going to take 30 minutes to place an order for a small drip coffee? Okay. Meanwhile, the building's burning down. That's cool.
Yeah. Make sure you have enough creamer of the specific alternate milk
No,
that you want.
that shit happened today. So I'm like, oh, what was I doing? Oh, I was balancing. So I was doing like 2 pour overs at one time. And I've got like one trying to like keep it from overflowing in one hand. And I've got like the water pot in the other trying to like pour the next one. And this woman comes up. The creamer is not even over on the creamer thing. It's in front of me because somebody else had already brought it up. I'm like, yeah, motherfuckers, if you need this much damn creamer, don't go to a coffee shop. Because you don't like coffee anyways. You like creamer. You like creamer that's flavored like coffee. So you should probably go to somewhere where you can get coffee flavored creamer.
Like a melted milkshake.
Yeah. Like go to like Arby's and get a Jamocha shake or some shit because that's what you really want. So I'm like trying to do this and this woman comes over and she goes and picks up the creamer and I literally look at her and I'm like, that's empty. And she doesn't respond or anything. She just goes to pour it in her coffee.
Oh my god.
Nothing comes out. And I just stand there and watch this happen and I'm like, here comes the stupid response. And she looks at me and she goes, your creamer's out. And I go, yeah, I just told you. And she looks at me like I'm like the like statuesque, just perfect image of Satan. And
Perfect.
she's like, well, is there any more? And I'm like, yes, but I'm a little busy right now. Just give me 1 second. So I like finish what I'm doing and I come over and I bring her like a whole thing of creamer and then I, in front of her, pour another thing of creamer into it to reinforce the idea that, yes, we have extra creamer. You don't need to ask if we have any more creamer. We're a coffee shop. This is like, we have creamer. Trust me.
Such a good boy.
So, and I'm like, she's not in any big rush. She's just fucking around with her coffee. And I'm like over here trying to like do this pour over and like help another customer. And I'm actually doing things. And she's just, you know, putting creamer in her coffee.
Oh, yeah.
But it has to be done right now so she can take 5 minutes shuffling back over to her table. Where she just sits and stares at the wall for 5 minutes. And then,
It's not like she's going to drink her coffee immediately anyway. It's too hot.
yeah.
I mean, well, if you put like,
Well, hey, if you're 100, it's never hot enough. You could, I swear to God, like people that are over like 80 drink lava.
what?
Because they like you could pull the fucking thing of coffee, like you could pull the hair pot out of the brewer, like 30, like not even 30, like 3 seconds after it's done, and you could pour it straight in their cup and hand it to them, and they would pound that shit back like a frat boy with a Yingling or some shit. They'd pound it back and be like, I did this in the microwave. And I'll be like, it just came out of the brewer. And they're like, well, it's not hot enough. And I'm like, well, that's 200 degrees. Like, what is your mouth made out of?
It's just like 3 decades of them killing their taste buds
Yeah.
and all sensation in their mouth.
3 decades of burning layer after layer of skin out of their mouth. So all they have is just like what I imagine like an old dried up baseball glove looks like on the inside of their mouth. Like they don't even have an esophagus anymore. They've just got like a metal pipe that goes into a stomach. Like that's what it is.
It's like straight
So-
stone.
Well, that's like it. The job that I worked at in Virginia, this one old guy, like we didn't have a microwave behind the counter because we're like, we're not taking our time. Like 15 seconds that we're waiting for somebody's shit to warm up is 15 seconds so we could be helping another customer. So we put the microwave out on the customer side. So I gave this guy his coffee. Literally just came, it was an Americano, just came out of the espresso machine. You know,
Americano.
yeah, and I'm like, you know, an Americano, that shit comes out hot. The water that comes out of the espresso machine comes out hot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's like another level of water. There's like 3 or 4 forms of matter. Espresso machine water takes on a 5th form. Like it's
It's so true. I have like destroyed my tongue by just being a fucking idiot and drinking my Americano like straight up, just thinking like I don't know, I was caught in a conversation or something and just kept going. So Please fucking tell me that he immediately took that Americano and put it in the microwave.
Well, yeah, so he took a sip of it. Like, I literally finished it in front of him, gave it to him, and he takes a sip of it, and he goes, "This is not hot enough." And I look at him and I'm like, this guy's got to be joking. He's got to be, like, pulling a sneaky on me or something, or just being sarcastic. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I mean, it just came out of the machine. And he's like, do you have a microwave? I'm like, oh, this motherfucker's serious. And I'm like, yeah, we got one right over there by the pie case.
What?
So in this job, they put the coffee in styrofoam cups. So this guy goes over to the microwave, puts his coffee in there. I wasn't paying attention because there's like a line of like 30 people. So I'm just like running the espresso machine. I'm just like, a face pops up. Here's your drinks. See you later. So what I didn't know is like 5 minutes had passed and this guy's coffee was still in the microwave. He had put it in there for like 10 minutes. And all of a sudden you just, it's like right when I noticed that, it's like I think my subconscious just kind of like put two and two together from my like out of the corner of my eye or something, because I just see like steam coming out of the microwave.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, what the fuck? So I go around the corner and like open the microwave and there's just this plastic puddle of what used to be the cup. And there's just coffee everywhere. The guy comes running over and I look at him and go,
Is it hot enough now?
I look at him and I go, I think it's hot enough now. And he just looks at me and he's like, because at this point he knows he's the biggest idiot in the world. Like, he knows he's messed up. And I look at him like, I'll go get you another Americano. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, this one will be hot enough. And I just give it to him, and he didn't put it in the microwave or go anywhere near it. He left the building.
Dude, you got
So
shamed forever.
yeah, I never saw him back in there. I feel like he just made a fool of himself. So
I think that has to be the best thing I've ever heard.
yeah, that was
That's-
man.
Fucking crazy, because it is legitimately lava. It takes forever. Especially if you put it on
It melted a styrofoam cup.
God bless.
That's a lot of heat.
I don't think I've ever left styrofoam in a microwave for that long.
I'm like, it's microwavable, but I mean, that takes a lot of heat to melt styrofoam, like open flame almost.
Seriously.
Yeah,
How hot was that coffee?
I don't know, but
Because it definitely came out over 200 degrees.
oh yeah, that stuff was probably like vaporizing. That's why I look over and just see a like cloud of steam coming out of the microwave.
Fucking amazing.
So the microwave survived though. So
Wow.
there's that positive.
It'd be so wonderful to be a customer in that situation, just like minding your own business, probably working on
Just
something.
watching it unfold.
Yeah, you just see this old ass man he just put that coffee in there for 10
Well,
minutes.
that's like the guy I was telling you that makes the violins, Bob. He
Oh.
would come over all the time and be like, just Bob, like the most gruff, angry old man ever. Like, totally amazing once you got to know him, but it's like you had to know Bob. And like one day it just clicked with me. I'm like, I'm just gonna cuss Bob out when he comes up to the register one day. And he comes up there and he puts his, because he'd always bring the same cup back and he'd slide across the counter. And I just took the cup and smashed it. Just like crushed it in my hand because there's styrofoam. So I was just like, psh. And he looks at me and I'm like, Bob, get a new fucking cup, you fuck ass. And he looks at me for a second in like pure shock. And there's like that brief moment where I was like, oh, I overstepped my bounds. And then he just got the biggest grin on his face, and he's like, I bet you've wanted to say that for a long time. And I'm like, you know it, Bob. And he just chuckles. He's like, I'll get a house blend. And I'm like, yeah, you will. And I poured him his cup of coffee, and like from that day forward, like we had that like customer employee like best friend relationship, and he would always come up to me like throughout the day and just be like, did you see those motherfuckers over at that table? I was like, yep, Bob, I was watching the whole time.
Oh, that's fucking great. Oh, that's a bold move. That was
Yeah.
good, though. No, I thought you meant you just took this man's, like, mug and smashed it on the ground.
Oh no, he'd just bring one of the store cups back all the time.
I mean, that makes sense, but that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, Bob was
No.
He was an interesting situation.
It was good. You worked in too many cafes, man.
Oh yeah,
It's a lot.
I've seen a lot. I've got PTSD from it sometimes. I'll walk into like a Starbucks or something and just immediately like, like Vietnam's coming back.
That's a trigger.
Yeah, it's a trigger.
Just drop to the on the floor and just like crawling to the counter and just like, no one can see me down
Well,
here.
it's gotten to the point too where, like, I'll go into other like little like mom and pop coffee shops and like individually owned cafes and stuff, and I'll go in there and I can see the employees that have like been there for like the longest, and I just like know the situation before I even go back there. I'm like, this person's fucking done with it. And
You
this
see the
person's
death in
like
their
the
eyes.
the person who's just like just started like two days ago, the like super bubbly girl that's just like, hi, welcome to blah 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 blah. And I'm like,
She hasn't been broken yet.
yeah, and I just want to go up there and be like, I want my coffee black. And she's like, do you want room for cream? And I'm like, no, that's why I said black. And then just they try and make my day better. I just like glare at them. Like my face goes from like somber to just like, I hate you, your family, your extended family, all the way back to like the beginning of humankind.
Oh my god.
And they just look at me like, okay. And they go get the coffee, and I'm like, walk away. And I just kind of think in my head, like, how hard was that? Just give me
That's
my
like the
coffee.
first time they've ever experienced that kind of rejection ever, man.
Oh, yeah.
Like, how can someone be so no about things?
Well,
That's what, like I said, man, they have not been broken. Like, food and bev will turn the most, like, peppy, bubbly person and destroy them.
oh, yeah. Yeah, you have to
It's
have like a.
fucking wonderful.
It takes a skill to, or it's like, it's not even a learned thing. Like, I don't even think you can teach it, but you have to kind of literally detach from your humanity to work in food and bev. Like, you just have to just think about it like it doesn't, like, you aren't even existing in this situation anymore. Like, you are just cells moving from like one A to B.
Oh, I totally believe that. Because if you pay attention to it, then you're immediately going to, like, murder somebody.
Oh yeah, it's like a handfuls of conversations that I tune into. I just instantly get angry. Like,
Yeah.
I'll hear people talking in line about what they'll get, and they're just like talking about like what's on the menu, and I'm like, I'll hear somebody describing to like a friend or somebody who's never gotten a latte or a cappuccino before, like the difference, and I'm like, nope, you're wrong. You're feeding this person false information. And then they get up, and that person orders like something that I know they totally don't expect what they're getting, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna make it for you the way it's supposed to be made, so your friend looks like a dumbass. But
Oh my god.
it's just like
I don't blame you, though, because you probably would have to correct, like, 50 people a day almost.
Mhm.
Oh my god, it gets so exhausting. Like, how many times can you have someone ask for a latte or a cappuccino and not realize what they're getting? No, I guess even better yet would be like a cortado or like a macchiato. I think is the cream of the crop because of Starbucks.
Mhm.
Like, the amount of times I've seen someone get like a 4-ounce drink and just the pure confusion on their face.
Oh, I love it when I first started here. There were a couple times that people would order a macchiato, and I know our macchiato, and I know the general public's macchiato. And there's been a handful of coffee shops I've worked at that all do, outside of Starbucks, unless it's like, I don't know, like somebody who just didn't know what they were doing when they opened a coffee shop. If the macchiato is on the board, generally it's 2 shots of espresso, dollop of foam.
Right.
The only place that goes outside of that is like Starbucks and a handful of like coffee shops that are like kind of locally chainy coffee shops, like very basic stuff. But any like real kind of, I wouldn't say fancy, but more the like true to roots kind of coffee places, you go in there, macchiato is going to be 2 shots of espresso, dollop of foam. I know that's what it is here, but I know the general public doesn't understand that. So anytime anybody comes in, I always make. I get so much. It's like, this is when you know you're just angry all the time because you take joy out of like doing that, like going through the whole process, like pulling the espresso, making the foam, everything, ringing them up. and then you give them the drink, and it's the look on their face that makes it all worth it. Because they look at you and they hold it up, and it's this like little 4-ounce cup, and I'm like, have a good day, and they're like, oh, I don't think this is a macchiato. I'm like, what? Well, yeah, it is.
Bye. We are right now, yeah. It's okay. Bye, Danielle. It's probably the first of thousands of
Podcast interruptions.
Danielle Poppins.
She'll just be like a long time running like character.
I'm just gonna get like a specific noise, like every time she like pops her head in. I mean, you can't even hear her listening, but
just do the Mario coin song. Ba-ding!
oh,
Every
I love
time,
that.
yeah.
All right, deal.
But yeah. So, anyways, I know. Oh shit! Now my train of thought.
Oh no, you're talking about handing them this drink. They're like, oh, this isn't a macchiato.
Oh yeah. So it's like all of that culminates
Culmination.
to like my joy of just seeing their like dreams crushed, and I'm like, well, that's a macchiato, and they're like, well, no, it's not, and I'm like, but yes, it is, and they're like, well, it's Starbucks, and that's I hear the S word,
They get you so excited.
and it doesn't even. Yeah, I get a semi every single time. I'm like, well, I'm about to learn you something, Karen.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, well, it's Starbucks. Their macchiato is a latte with caramel. That's pretty much what it is. A latte, an upside down latte with caramel. But a traditional macchiato, which we have here, is 2 shots of espresso with a dollop of foam on top. And they're like, well, that's not what I wanted. And I'm like, well, that's what you ordered. So what do you want? And they're like, well, I want want something like the Starbucks one. And I'm like, well, we don't have the Starbucks one. And they're like, well, could I get a caramel latte? I'm like, we don't have caramel. And they look at me like, now I'm fucking with them or something, and I'm not. And I'm like, there's no caramel behind this counter.
It just keeps building up better and better.
Yeah, and I'm like, there's no caramel behind this counter. And I'm like, we have something that tastes like caramel. Yeah, I'll get that. So I make it for him. And
What tastes like caramel?
condensed milk, when you mix it with long shots, it tastes kind of like caramel.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's pretty clever.
Yeah, it tastes almost identical to a caramel latte.
Dude, I'm tearing up a little bit. It's fucking hilarious. You remind me so much of Dennis from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. There's that one scene, whatever, that they're in court or something, and someone's freaking out about something, and the whole time he's just waiting for like one moment where everyone realizes that they've been lied to. And he's like, oh, getting off. He's like sitting in like this church, is like, yeah.
I love it when you make eye contact with me from across the way. I'll be at the pouring
At
somebody
the grinder or something.
yeah, at the grinder, and you just appear in your door, and I know you've like heard some kind of conversation, so you just appear, and I make eye contact with you across the way with like no facial expression, and you just lose it and shut your door, and I'm like, he knows
Because
what's
it's
going on.
usually complete dumbassery. I'm like, please tell me they did not just ask this fucking question. My favorite one is the Wi-Fi question. What's the Wi-Fi password?
Oh, you mean the password? That's a giant chalk fucking diagram that's like
Yeah.
bigger than I am on the wall.
And has been the password for like 4 or 5 fucking years. It's crazy. Like,
Oh
that's
gosh.
wonderful. I love it. Oh my god. If I had heard that woman ask about the creamer though, that would have been one of those moments where I just like popped my head out and I'm like, are you fucking serious? And just like stared. Sometimes you just want to see the face that is attached to the request. It's amazing.
It is. I mean, I like to think that like I get a broad spectrum of requests from a broad spectrum of people, but it's almost always the exact same people asking the exact same questions. That's where I'm like, is there a glitch in the matrix right now or some shit, because this is too consistent.
Oh, I know. And that's really what builds up and makes it so fucking annoying. Because you gotta do it so many times.
Well-
and you just know it before they're going to do it.
Mhm.
And unless
You see
look
it coming
forward
through
to
the
it-
door.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see it coming through the door, and it's like, since I've been up there, I mean, this is the least that I've spent behind a bar since I've been in coffee. And every time I'm up there now, it's like going between like roasting and warehouse stuff versus being behind the bar. It's like I just get angry now.
Yeah. I
Like
totally feel that.
somehow my humanity came back, and I'm having trouble suppressing it again. When I'm behind the counter, I'm like, I go behind the counter, I'm like, I'm a human being again. And I go back there and listen to these people, and I'm like, my God, I coexist on the same planet. And I,
fucking related species-wise with these people.
yeah. And I'm like, what really scares me is a lot of these people I drive on the same roads,
Oh,
going
dude.
60 and 70 miles per hour with
Dude.
these people.
Yeah, we're in the fucking South too, so it's even like a million times more terrifying.
Yeah.
I think we were like statistically proven as one of like the worst states for fucking driving.
I've seen some very scary things since I've been down here. Like on 26, people going like 4 lanes of traffic. Like somebody will cross all 4 lanes going like 40 miles per hour, and everybody's going like 70, and they'll just do it. Like it's not like they inch across; they'll just exit stage left, like right across. There's like a semi that's got to slam on their brakes and like half jackknife to like not hit them, and then it's like but they just keep going like nothing ever happened. And you pass them and you look at them because like whenever you see somebody do stupid shit on the road, when you pass them, you stare them the fuck down.
Exactly.
You're like,
You want to know who the fuck just did that dumb shit.
and you look at them, and it's like some like 70-year-old nana who's just driving along, like
yes.
just like the other day. I was leaving work and somebody like literally this little Prius just stop sign. No, I don't stop for nobody.
No.
I've got a battery, bitch. And they just right through the stop sign. And I mean, I was like right there because like I was probably like maybe 20 yards from this four-way, like, or not four-way, it's like a two-way stop. It was the lane going across mine. So, and I'm like rolling right up to it, and I see this Prius, this like little maroon Prius, just going faster than I'm comfortable with, and I'm like, you're not gonna stop, are you?
Oh my god.
And they get to that stop sign, nope, just right through the intersection, like right turn on red, JK, I'm going right now. This is an on-ramp, motherfucker, there's no signs here. And they just right through that turn. And fortunately, like, I'm a pretty aware driver. I know when people are behind me, beside me, like everything. So I knew that the lane beside me was open. So I just jumped into it, which jumping into a lane with a Ford Escape last second is not like the easiest thing in the world.
Especially not yours.
It's kind of just like, we'll do it, but we're going to do it on 2 wheels kind of thing. Like,
Oh my god.
it's not the greatest thing in the world. So it's like, I missed this bitch by like a foot. And I fly past her because she like just went through that turn, so she's going like 10 and the road's like 55. So and I fly past her and I look over and I'm like, who the fuck just did this? And it's some like literally probably like 80 or 90-year-old nana that's like 2 inches from the steering wheel with the Coke bottle glasses on, like just driving along, and she looks up at me like, where did you come from?
No.
Yeah. And I'm like, I was sent from God, motherfucker, to take you off this road. Like, do that one more time. My car's bigger than you. It's faster than you. It's moving. It's more mass than you. It's going to ruin your day.
You should have, man. Just be like Batman. You're the hero that we need, but not the one we deserve. Just run her off the road and save us all the trouble.
Yep.
Because she's probably just going to cause a wreck.
Yeah, I'm like, if it's not me, she's going to plow into somebody else.
It would be extremely fucking irritating and annoying and a pain in the ass to do around here, but I would do it and stand by it just for less frustration of taking a driver's test every 5 years.
Oh, hell. I'd be like, once you hit a certain age, it's every year. So a lot changes in a year.
With certain age, most definitely, but I just think people suck so much. It is mind-blowing sometimes. I've seen people literally come to a complete stop at a roundabout when there's no one around. I'm like, it's not a stop sign with the fucking circle in the middle. You keep
my gosh.
going. That's the point of it. Like,
So
ruining the point.
back in Roanoke when they first installed, so Roanoke has never had roundabouts, like ever, in the history of the entire fucking town. I don't think there's ever been a roundabout. And anybody who lives in Roanoke never leaves Roanoke. Like, if you make it out, you're something's going on, because like you're born there, you live there, like you never go anywhere else. So you, like 90% of these people have never seen a roundabout before in their life.
Holy shit.
So the county's going through a whole bunch of like infrastructure related building up and everything, because like hundreds of people are moving there a week or a day. I don't know what the figures are, but it's growing rapidly. So, and the roads are getting all plugged up, and there's this one road that was really, really bad during the morning. It would just get completely backed up because it's like two main roads that met each other, and there's no way to put a stoplight there, so they put a roundabout in. So, and they did it in a couple of other places in Roanoke. There were like 4 roundabouts all made in 1 year. Oh man, it would have sucked to be an EMS when those roundabouts went in. I remember one day I was going to class, and I roll up on this roundabout, and the person in front of me, so this thing is built, it's a 1-lane roundabout, but it has like a planter thing in the middle of it.
They
like,
usually do. So it like deters you from going straight through.
No, this motherfucker went straight through.
What the fuck?
And they were in like a Taurus or something. So it's not even like a pickup truck that's got a little bit of ground clearance. They were like, I saw their car like go boom, like it was in the air for maybe only like 2 inches of air, but that motherfucker was in the air for some amount of time.
Holy shit.
Straight through the bushes, straight through the middle of the roundabouts to the other side. The amazing thing, they didn't stop. They just kept on going. Like it never happened.
Do you think they did that on purpose?
I don't know. I can't imagine.
It's a surprise, because it's not like you can miss a roundabout coming. It's not like you just go around a corner and all of a sudden there's a roundabout there. They're pretty well placed.
No, they drove straight through that thing, and I was behind them.
To be in that vehicle. That would have been so much fun.
That's why I started driving around with a GoPro in my dashboard, because I was like, I'm gonna make like a YouTube channel on this shit. And just be like, what do we see on the road today? And I kind of want to do it for down here, because, oh my god, dude, it's like target-rich environment down here.
That's so true. You could literally get something useful every single time you drive.
Oh, yeah.
Guaranteed.
Oh, not even like something. You get multiple things. Like every time I come here, it's kind of like, what am I going to see today scenario.
Which, out of the 5 occurrences, what are the top 2?
Yeah.
You could literally do that, like play off a fail army. You could do like a fail driving SC edition.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be so popular.
Because
it's another weird thing about the South is that everyone down here who drives regularly also thinks that everyone else is a terrible fucking driver.
Oh, yeah.
It's so bizarre. Like, that's one of the best and biggest complaints about this area is that we're all fucking terrible drivers. Yeah, we're all the same.
Everybody's the best driver.
On the yeah, yeah, right. So everyone but you is a terrible driver.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. I'm like, is it just old people?
Oh, no,
like,
my favorite thing down here, so back in Virginia, it's like everybody goes roughly the speed limit or 5 over. It's always like right at the speed limit or always 5 over, no deviation. Solid. Like you could be on back roads, highways, anything.
That's
like
the
if
way it should be.
You're a Virginia driver, everybody drives that way. That's just how it is. Here, the biggest confusion I have, so I gotta drive down like a 55 mile per hour speed limit, like 2-lane road to get onto like the main road that comes here. That's like goes to like 50 or 45 or 50 miles per hour. Mm-hmm. So on that 55, people will drive like 30 miles per hour. And I'm sitting behind them like, what the fuck are you doing?
That's too significantly low.
It's like 30 to 35. The average is probably 35.
Okay.
But they will drive like 35 on this fucking road. And it's 55. And there's multiple speed limit signs that I'm like, you can't not know that you're driving significantly under the speed limit. So I'll pass them and I'll get like onto the main road and I'll go like right up to 55 on the main road. And then all of a sudden these motherfuckers are flying past me like I don't even exist.
What?
And same thing with the highways. It's like you get on like 26 or something, everybody's going like 20 over the speed limit.
Yeah.
the second you turn onto the off ramp and you hit that like that side road, everybody's like 20 under the speed limit. And I'm like,
That's a good point.
what the hell? What is
so
going
fucking
on?
True.
I'm like, what is going on? Because it's like the highways, the speed limit doesn't even exist. But the second you get on the main roads, it's like,
Don't even.
well, it
fucking
doesn't
dare.
exist, but you don't use your accelerator. You just let the car kind of roll up to speed or something. It's like, I don't know what's going on.
Oh, I hate it. I feel like a car in front of you can immediately tell when you are trying to get somewhere quickly and they are not going the appropriate speed. It's like, all right, obviously I came up upon you quickly. You should understand that you need to speed up and go the speed limit. I just came here, so I'm assuming you're going to continue to speed up. But they're like, fuck you. I'm going to go exactly 20 under for the entire way, no matter how many speed signs that they fucking drive by.
Yeah.
What are you not even paying attention to what you're doing, or are you paying too much attention and think you're not doing it well enough? Like, what's going on? Like, what's worse,
They're
someone
overthinking.
like someone driving too slow, or someone going the appropriate speed limit just on their phone?
Well, the other thing too is like, so I'd be driving around like Roanoke and everything, or just Virginia in general. I would never see anybody just like all over the lane. Like occasionally I would see somebody that would like, you'd see them kind of drift and then jerk back into their lane. I'm like, they're probably on their phone. And I pass them, they're on their phone.
Mm-hmm.
But that usually happens like one time, and then after that you don't see them do it again. Here, I drove for like 8 miles behind somebody one day that was just literally in the other lane, off the side of the road, just all over the fucking place.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, are you drunk? Are you on your phone? Should I call the police right now and report this person? Like, what the fuck is going on?
Just fucking probably both.
It's all of the above.
Yeah.
And then something. Like,
It's
who
almost
knows? They're
like-
probably on like horse tranquilizers or some shit too.
Fucking ketamine, man.
Yeah.
I think heroin's the biggest one down here right now, though.
Fuck, I don't know. Like, they've got to be on
It's-
something
it's
more than
gotta
just
be
cell
it.
phone and alcohol, because
Like, it only be the only thing. But it's a good point.
it's
It's almost
impressive.
like if there's nothing around them, why even bother driving correctly? They don't even give a shit. They're
Mm-mm.
just fucking all over the place. Like 3 lanes, all my lanes.
The other thing too is like, I'll be going to work at like 7 or 8 in the morning sometimes, and everybody else is out there commuting, and I know the commuters because they're like boom boom boom. It's like you know the people who are commuting because you get with them and you're just through the fucking traffic, like you're going from A to B.
Oh yeah.
But then there's the people who are just like just like all over their lane, not going the speed limit, just kind of like the light turns green, they're sitting at the light for like it's like 30 or 40 seconds before they decide to kind of like start moving.
Oh.
And I'm just like, do you not work? You're like, what are you doing? Do you not have anywhere to go?
If you don't have
Is your
anywhere to
car
go-
broken? Like, what's going on?
Don't go out in max traffic times if
Yeah.
you're not going to work.
That's like I was coming here one morning in a oversized load carrying a double wide, like somebody's like trailer home or whatever, driving down Main Street in the middle of rush hour, like peak rush hour too, like 7:30, 8 o'clock ish.
Danger zone.
So yeah, it's like the like, this is bad traffic for the morning, and this oversized load is literally taking up like 3 fucking lanes on a 3-lane like main road, going like 20 in a 45,
Oh, holy shit.
and there is literally a line, like a mile-long line of traffic behind them, and they aren't getting out of the way. They aren't pulling over or anything. Like, they're just plugging up fucking traffic. And it literally took me like an extra 15 minutes to get to work because that one truck. And I'm like, what in your fucking mind was like, hey, you know what's a good idea? We should take this house down the middle of Main Street
Yep.
in the middle of rush hour,
Yep.
morning rush hour. Like, evening rush hour, I could see because they're like, oh, people are just like heading home, so they're not like trying to get to work on time or
Dude,
some
even
shit.
then.
But still,
Wait,
I'm
you're
like,
fucked up.
what are you doing? You have an ample amount of time throughout the day that you could do this, but instead you choose to do it right now.
Seriously, you do it at like 9 o'clock. Golden.
Yeah.
Avoid early midday. Even midday would be acceptable.
8:35. I hit the road, green lights all the way. It's like I'll hit the road at 8:25, red lights and shitload of traffic all the way. Hit the road 8:35, Green lights, nobody's out there. It's like two totally different times of the day, and it's only like 10, 15 minutes apart. And it's a whole totally different scenario. That's where I'm just like, you hit it.
Oh.
It's like you were planning this. Like, hey, you know what we can do today?
You see that car coming?
Yeah, we could just fuck up everybody's lives today. We're getting paid to move this house. Well, guess what? There's a side mission too.
Yeah.
It's to ruin all of North Charleston / Somerville for the morning.
We get an extra $800 if it takes all day to deliver this.
Yeah. So we get like an extra $10 for every car that gets stuck behind us. That's what they were doing.
Holy shit.
Dude, they would have made bank. They would have made $1 million that day because there was like 3 lanes of traffic and it's like a mile.
They're also gambling with fate. They could have been murdered.
Fuck. Yeah.
That is crazy. That's so stupid.
Yep.
That's stupid.
It is
Why would you do this? I honestly just don't think they even remotely thought about it. Like, okay, let's go. All of a sudden they hit the road like, oh, fuck. Everyone's going to work.
What? Nobody told us about that.
Right? We don't have normal lives. We've never had a regular job in our lives.
We just move houses all day.
And this is the best time.
God damn.
Fuck everyone's life over. Alright.
Speaking of breaking the seal, I gotta go do that.
No, I know that. And honestly, it's perfect because we're about to hit an hour, so we're in our golden window.
Golden hour.
Yeah, so with your twitchy ass leg, thank you, Eric, for sitting down and talking.
You're welcome,
I'm
Kevin.
gonna wrap this up.
My
And,
twitchy ass leg is gonna take me right out of here.
Yeah, we'll see you later. Go fucking pee. I'll wrap this up.
Goodbye.
Alright. So, social media time. You all know that. I didn't even have a break in the middle of this because it was just such a good conversation the entire time. I hope you all enjoyed this so much. And Eric finally got to go pee. His leg's been twitching for like probably 20 minutes of this entire podcast. It's been great to watch. But if you are looking for this podcast, you hopefully realize that you can find us on Baked Cat Studio social media. Instagram and Facebook is all Baked Cat Studio. If you want to find us on Twitter, look for Baked Cat Studio 1. Because Twitter sucks and they hate me. Oh, and I do believe that is it. This episode is also brought to you by Baked Cat Studio. If you're looking for content creation for your business, if you're looking for a watercolor commission because you have something that you really just want painted, then hit us up because we got you. We also have a whole myriad of other things. We want to work with you. I've had one cider too many. I hope you guys are going to have a great weekend and don't be a dick. Adios.